Everybody feels good during spring training. When you come out here and the grass is green.
Oh, yeah. Atta baby.
It smells good.
Boy.
The players are all ready to go. Everybody's charged up.
Hit.
It's probably the best time of the year for the players.
In the backswing.
That's always a big upper.
Grab a seat and raise your glass. Brewers baseball flows freely for the next hour. Welcome to Brewers on Tap from Maryvale Baseball Park in Phoenix. I'm Kevin Holden. From the players to the coaches, from the front office to the fans, the month of March brings a most welcome sight, a new baseball season brewing in the Arizona sun.
I think we can compete with anyone this year. It's going to be a big year. It's going to be really fun.
It's baseball's spring song. Newness, optimism.
It's a possibility.
Excitement.
We want to have a championship 2014 season, and it starts with the work that we do here.
It's exciting to get going. You just want to spring training to be over with now.
It's exciting when the whole team gets together. You can see, you can start gelling.
You know, we've got a very talented team, so I'm very excited about that.
This year's payroll, the highest in team history. The goal, erase 2013 and put Milwaukee back in the postseason.
A lot of us think last year the record didn't really describe kind of what we felt we had.
They did a pretty good job putting our team together to have a better year than last year.
I'm certainly excited to be back, excited to be in Arizona, excited to meet my new teammates, looking forward to the challenge of learning a new position, and just excited to be back to playing baseball.
Experts aren't predicting playoffs, but that's exactly how these Brewers like it.
It's a better position to be in that we're kind of, you know, underdogs. Our overall perception is that other teams in the division got weaker and we got stronger.
Every team has optimism right now. I think we're going to still just kind of stay quiet to see how it goes.
You just come in here, the air is just nice and fresh. You get to see all your friends and all your teammates again, and just kind of that feeling where you guys are about to do something big.
2014 is all about fresh starts in Phoenix, and that's more true than ever for beleaguered Brewers slugger Ryan Braun. 2013 started with suspicion and ended with a suspension, leading us to the first of 5 brewing questions for this 2014 Brewers team. Can Ryan Braun bounce back this year?
And I would bet my life that this substance never entered my body at any point. I'm not going to address that issue any further. As I stated, I'm happy to cooperate fully with any investigation into this matter.
Ryan Braun's message this spring has completely changed.
I mean, the best answer I can give you is just that I made a mistake. You know, I made a mistake. You know, I guess I made a huge mistake. Like I said, I made a big mistake. Basically, I made a mistake. You know, I made a big mistake. I took responsibility for the mistake that I made. Ultimately, I accepted a suspension because of the mistake that I made.
I got it. A new start in Phoenix is all Braun can ask for. After admitting he took performance-enhancing drugs and lied about it for years. The backpedaling Braun served the second longest PED-related suspension in baseball history.
I wish I had the ability to go back, to change things, to do things differently, but unfortunately I don't have that opportunity. You know, I embrace the challenge that lies ahead. I know that it won't be easy.
The challenge is starting over. Rebuilding trust at every level. And it starts with making amends with his teammates this spring.
I think as far as we're concerned, he comes in, does his work. He's going to fit right in. You know, everybody makes mistakes one way or another in our lives. We're not all perfect.
Knowing him, he can handle it just about as well as anybody. I think he's done a great job so far with how he's answered questions, and he wants to move on.
No, the machine was throwing 97 mile-an-hour.
You're looking for that cutter.
Seriously. You know, everybody's been extremely supportive, and I appreciate that. Certainly when everything first occurred, I think there was some confusion because I wasn't allowed to say anything. It was obviously an ongoing and active investigation, so because of that, I couldn't really say anything.
I think it'll be welcome. Obviously, you know, all that stuff's over with, so we're just looking forward to the season and moving on and putting it all behind us.
We like him for one.
We need him on this team, and he's paid the penalty that Major League Baseball has put in place, and it's over.
The suspension has ended, but potential distractions will continue. The spotlight and attention on Braun in opposing stadiums will be brighter, louder, and more hostile than ever.
You know, as a competitor, I enjoy that hostile environment. I enjoy the challenge of going into an opposing team's ballpark and dealing with that hostile environment. So I try to use that as fuel, use that as motivation.
Then there are Braun's own fans and the job of image repair. Signing.
You guys have fun today?
And signing.
What's your name? Nice to meet you, Luke.
And signing.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow.
Posing for pictures.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Yep.
Trying to win back the fans. One signature, one interaction at a time.
Oh, perfect.
And I think he's taken steps to get back and, win back everybody's support. And he knows he's got to continue to take those steps. Just like the baseball season is a marathon, his winning back the trust and support of the community is something that's going to take some time. And I think he's up to the task.
All this while changing positions from left field to right field.
I got it.
And overcoming a thumb injury that sapped Braun's power last season.
There's no curveball and a slider? Both?
Yeah. Ryan Braun can lose himself in baseball as a distraction from the off-field distractions.
Thanks, Eddie. Yep, you're welcome. Like I said, I made a big mistake. I'm not perfect, far from it. I wish that I can change it, but I can't, so I'll just continue to try to be the best person I can be.
Coming up, baseball's age-old question hits home.
Who's on first? Yeah. Go ahead and stop. Who? The guy on first. Who? The guy playing first base. Who?
A first-rate battle at first base. Plus, dog days in spring, an unlikely star in Phoenix. Later in the show.
He's writing his name.
I'm writing your name, too. You guys have cool shoes. Matching? Matching shoes? Nice. Is that okay? Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks for you to come back big time. Thank you. That's the plan. We're here for another 5 weeks. Thank you. So are we.
We love Ryan Braun.
Not this year, Ryan. We're all cheering for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome back. We've been waiting for you.
Thank you very much.
Time for a fresh pour of Brewers on Tap. For years, this Brewers team has been stout with the bats, except at one problematic position. It's the second of our 5 brewing questions for 2014. Who's on first?
You remember that? Yes. You know the guy's name? I'm telling you that name. Well, who's on first? Yeah. Go ahead and stop. Who? The guy on first. Who? The guy playing first base. Who? The guy on first. Who is on first? What are you asking me for? I'm asking you.
First base, the Brewers' first problem on offense for a second straight season. To the rescue, 2 steady veterans looking for fresh starts. Free-swinging Mark Reynolds hopes to pick up a spot with his 5th franchise in 5 seasons.
This is really my first camp where I have to, make the team. But, when I signed here, I told him I'm looking forward to the challenge. And, I'm going to try to come out here and make the decision for him as easy as possible.
How are you?
Good. Just have you back.
It's good to be back. Lyle Overbay needs no introduction in Milwaukee. He was the Brew Crew's first option at first base a decade ago.
To compete with these 22-year-olds, it gets harder and harder, but it's fun. It makes coming to the ballpark a challenge every day, and that's what you're looking for for a challenge.
They know the game, and they know each other. Overbay and Reynolds were teammates last year with the New York Yankees.
Lyle's a great teammate. He's a great guy to have around the clubhouse.
I don't have any personal stuff that I need to do. I want to win a World Series championship.
2 veterans that we know pretty much we're going to get what we're going to get from them. Both of them do a pretty good job at first base as far as picking the ball, which I think is very important for our infield and their confidence.
Juan Francisco started more games at first than any Brewer last year.
It's been a line drive caught by Francisco.
And don't rule out power prospect Hunter Morris, one of the hardest workers on the fields at Maryvale.
I'm just going to go about my work the same way as I always would, no matter what situation I'm put in. I'm certainly more confident in myself this year. I just want to be in the conversation coming into spring training.
If quantity leads to quality, then the Brewers will have their first base fix. Who's on first may be a mystery, but Brewers fans know exactly what's on second. Young Scooter Gennett has his eye on a starting job, but he's got some in-camp competition from a longtime Brewer. It's number 3 in our 5 brewing questions for 2014. Is Scooter Gennett ready?
Being told you can't do something because you're too small, or being told you can't do something for whatever reason, it just makes you want it that much more.
Ryan Joseph Gennett doesn't take no for an answer. He's confident, young, and focused on sticking around after a taste of the big league life last season.
That's got a chance, and it is gone. Scooter Gennett.
Going up the first time kind of got my feet wet a little bit, and learned how to control some things on the field, and it's just it's a little different.
The adjustment went well. Gennett hit .324 in Milwaukee last year, his highest average in a season at any professional level. After that debut, it's just a matter of success by repetition.
Once you prove you can play up here, it's just about consistency after that point, and continuing to get better every day. It's just having to prove yourself every year to get the opportunity. It's probably the biggest thing. And once you do it, it's just you got to take advantage and continue to get better every day.
The Brewers' second base position manned by one of the newest team members and one of the most experienced. Ricky Weeks has played more than 1,000 games in the Milwaukee uniform.
A lot of guys have questions, especially during workouts, drills, game film, or game time period. Just have questions. You just want to be able to answer them and to the best of your ability and go out there and just have fun with them.
All the guys that play, in the big leagues for a while, they're in the big leagues for a while for a reason, and it's not just by chance or luck. They work hard. They go about the business the right way, and Ricky's a perfect example of that.
Left field has been the least of the Brewers' worries for several years, but a position switch from Ryan Braun this spring has left the door wide open for Chris Davis to earn a starting position. It's our 4th brewing question for 2014. How good is Chris Davis? The left fielder with the power bat and high hopes for 2014? Not this guy, this guy. Chris Davis has hustled his way to everyday playing time with Ryan Braun's move to right field.
Just come out here and get better every day. Come out here with a plan, no doubt, and just prepare for a long, fun season. Prepare for a lot of wins. That's what I want to do is win.
He loves to win, and he loves to hit. No Brewer hit more home runs during Braun's suspension than Davis.
And it's over his head, it's out of here.
11 homers in 41 games that helped give the 26-year-old some big league perspective.
Where you guys from, Milwaukee? How much fun to have out here. Take it serious, but also have a good time, and not a lot of people get to do what we do, and just be grateful for the opportunity and have a good time out there.
Davis won't be just skating by this season. He's picking up power while practicing patience. While Davis gets ready for a regular role, Caleb Gendel waits for his chance, and Logan Schaefer's ready to snatch up playing time in a flash.
Opportunity is what you make, it doesn't matter if you've got 15 people in front of you or nobody in front of you. As long as you play the game the way you should play the game, it'll all work out in the end.
Still to come, the Brewers pay the price and pick up an ace. The new hand on deck in the Brewers rotation, next on Brewers on Tap. Welcome back to Brewers on Tap for the 2014 season. Brewing question number 5, maybe the most important question of all. Can the Brew Crew count on their starting rotation? Good starting pitching helped the Brewers make the playoffs in 2011. And it means so much this year. The Crew spent a record amount for an advantage in the arms race. Matt Garza is many things. Excitable. A talented pitcher.
Outstanding.
And an instant hit with his teammates. But one thing Garza is not is a mercenary.
When I signed here, it's exactly what I was hoping for. You know, somewhere to call home, and somewhere to, you know, kind of be me. And I'm excited about that. You know, I got the best of both worlds.
Garza also gets the richest free agent contract in Brewers history, as much as $67 million over 5 years. And the Brewers, they add another possible ace to an already stacked deck.
When Matt Garza was available, that was, you know, he's a difference maker. That was something we decided we would, quote, you know, break the budget for.
It isn't Garza's skill, but his hustle, energy, and dynamic personality that's creating the biggest buzz in Brewers camp.
His personality, he's not a guy that comes into a new organization and just sits quietly and watches. His personality, he's just all over the place. And he's vocal, he's laughing. What I like about it is he really works hard.
You know, communication's key, and maybe that's why I talk so much. You know, the best way to, you know, get to know people is to talk to them, and, you know, if people stay quiet, then no one's ever going to know anybody.
Pretty cool dude, but you know, it's sometimes you gotta tell him a little bit, and slow it down. You know, you know, it's fun.
Garza, Gallardo, and Loesch form 3 pillars of what might be the NL Central's best starting rotation in 2014.
A guy with his ability, his talent, you know, his experience. We got a solid rotation. We like the way we stack up.
He's aggressive. He's competitive. You know, he goes out there, gives it all he has.
Obviously, the guy's a horse. You know, he gives you innings, gives you the low ERAs, does everything.
He's aggressive when he's in the mound, so he's going to attack the hitters, so they have to be ready.
I say it's a hitter's park in Milwaukee. You know, I've pitched a couple times and I've turned into a pitcher's park, so, you know, I'm looking forward to doing that more often.
Garza's presence is a game changer, but the Brewers still rely on a homegrown hero to help anchor that starting rotation. Giovanni Gallardo is excited about 2014 because he can then forget about 2013.
There's a line drive to left, and this is going to bring in 2 more runs for the Nationals. And they're just pouring it on Gallardo right now.
2013's bad breaks started before Giovanni Gallardo even reported to spring training. Gallardo lost his mother to cancer late in 2012. Then, instead of preparing for the Brewers season, Gallardo was pitching for Team Mexico.
Got him swinging.
In the World Baseball Classic last March. There was a DUI arrest in April, an injury in July.
What a great play by Gallardo.
Yeah, hope he's all right.
And in between, the zip on Gallardo's fastball, like his season, was lost.
Oh, then that's going to be a 2 RBI double.
Especially with the guys that's been around the league a long time. I think you have to learn how to pitch no matter what. I mean, go out there, big league hitter can hit the fastball no matter what the velocity is. For myself, I still have to go out there and take care of business every 5 days and win ball games.
Enter the 2014 version of Gallardo, relieved to start a new season, relaxed from the stressors of 2013, focused on putting that chapter of his life in the past.
It's just one of those things that we were kind of surprised ourselves, but you know, this year's a different year, and number one, the main thing is for us to stay healthy.
Gallardo is a Brewers mainstay, the only regular starting pitcher left from the 2011 playoff team. And for the 5th season in a row, it's Gallardo getting the call on opening day.
I didn't even think about it, to be honest. You know, coming into spring, obviously, we all know I didn't have the year that I wanted to last year. So, like, I mean, I've always told you guys, I think it's definitely a privilege to have that opportunity. But, you know, as far as for myself, I just showed up here, spring training, ready to go. You know, I think this is going to be a big year for me. I have something to prove. And I have to get back to throwing the ball the way that I've been throwing.
The Brewers hope their starting rotation is a winning hand thanks to a hidden ace. Kyle Loesch may not have superstar statistics, but experience and consistency make Loesch the steady hand among Brewers starters. It's Kyle Loesch's second season wearing Brewers blue, but it's his first full spring training.
See ya.
Loesch didn't sign last season until the end of March.
Because last year I came in here and we had 2 days and we were going to Milwaukee, so it's nice to be here at the beginning of camp. Good to be here, and a lot less stressful than it was last year this time for me.
Less stress and more desire to help his Brewers teammates. Loesch plans on being more of a team leader this year, and Ron Renicky approves that message.
Last year, missing spring training, just kind of walking in right at the beginning. Wasn't quite sure of things. We talked this winter. He would like to be a little more vocal, and I would like him to be vocal.
At 35, Loesch is the oldest pitcher on the Brewers' 40-man roster. He's also won 41 games the last 3 seasons. Reasons for anyone on the staff to learn some lessons from Loesch.
You know, it's a role that I've never really had to play, but you know, I think I've learned quite a bit throughout my career. I figured out what works for me, and if I can pass something along to one of them that they can figure it out at 23, 24, when it took me to 28, 29, you know, that's, I could look at it as though that's my job here to not just pitch, but help these guys out.
Talent plus the wisdom of 13 major league seasons.
Thanks again, guys.
Might make Kyle Loesch the de facto ace in the Brewers' seasoned trio of top pitchers. Loesch, Garza, Gallardo. Lock them in as the top 3 starters for the Brew Crew this season. But the competition for the final 2 rotation spots brought out a bevy of young arms for one of the most interesting competitions of spring training. Behind the aces are some exciting wild cards. Willie Peralta's electric arm tied for the team lead in games started last season.
Oh, yeah. Hello, baby. I see you.
And he has the formula to be better in 2014.
Trying to be like consistent on my pitch. You just throw a fastball command. That's what I've been working all spring. I think that's a more important thing. You get your fastball command early. The off-speed gonna be come around. They count on me, and then I try to do the best that I can to help them.
Anyone looking for a rotation spot will be chasing down Marco Estrada, a battler who's not so inexperienced anymore after 44 games started in the last 2 seasons.
We have a lot of young guys, but you know, a lot of them have had time in the big leagues now, and they've proven themselves, and you know, I think we're looking pretty good.
With more strong arms than open rotation spots, some talented young pitchers will have to settle for a lesser role, like pitching in long relief.
You know, if I do start out in the pen or wherever it may be, you know, I think I showed last year that I could do both. I feel like, you know, as a guy like that, you know, you can really help a team win.
It's hard to do. You can't really get used to it. It's just something you just have to go out and do.
I know in 2011, Marco really helped out the team when he did that.
I always told him just to, you know, if you're going to be in the bullpen, just try your best, whatever, you know, and you'll eventually get your opportunity to start.
This spring's also giving fans a glimpse of the future. Prospects like Johnny Helway, Jimmy Nelson, and even left-hander Will Smith, who's been a starter and reliever. And they'll all pick up pointers from the Brew Crew's 3 veteran starting pitchers.
There was always an empty seat next to me on the bench. We just talk about stuff and preparation of how to get prepared, or what's your routine to, you know, in-game stuff.
Marco and Peralta, they're really something, you know, watch. You know, they got their stuff, and I'm just excited to see Peralta work. He's got really, really nasty stuff.
Coming up, Go-Go's got games. The most infectious smile in spring training when Brewers on Tap returns. Brewers on Tap, ready for a refill in Phoenix. I'm Kevin Holden. Off-field distractions and injuries derailed the seasons of several Brewers stars in 2013. But filling that void were two teammates from a tiny Caribbean nation who blossomed into superstars. He robs home runs.
Votto lifts it in the air, center field. Gomez at the wall. Gomez leaps.
And he hits them too.
Gomez hits it hard left field, and it will carry out of the ballpark.
If you rob a home run, it's exciting. If you hit a home run, it's exciting too.
No one has more fun on the field than Carlos Gomez.
I got it!
Excited like a child, but playing at a superstar level.
I'm not a young kid no more, you know. He's a grown man to be 7 years experience in the league, and I know what the people and all the team try to do with me.
At the wall, he leaps and he makes the catch.
With the glove, Gomez is golden.
Yeah, man, it's my baby.
And at the plate, every swing this spring comes with maximum effort.
I know how the coach no more to tell me hit the ball in the ground. You know, I'm a free swing. Push to the limit. You know, play there and do the job that I love. When more enthusiasm come here, when happy, and I thank God for everything that I have right now.
Hello, Charlie.
He's funny, he's excitable, he's emotional, but he's a pretty sharp guy.
He's got that just flat-out speed and stuff, and you know, there are a lot of different things you can learn from outfielders, and watching him is really fun.
Gomez has realized his potential after 6 years. Segura may have arrived after less than 2. The slick shortstop shines with passion for the game.
I just want to hit. I just want to play my game. I just want to, I just want to be part of the team. I don't care where I hit. I don't care what number I hit in the lineup. I just want to be out there and compete and have fun, because I love this game.
Segura starts 2014 rested and refreshed after refraining from winter ball for the first time as a professional, saving his energy for the 6-month grind of a big league season.
When I saw him at the Fan Fest, he felt really good. He felt strong. He looked really good. He was in good shape. I'm hoping what we saw the first half, we see the whole year.
Bouncing ball, Segura dives, knocks it down, throw to first in time.
If we do that, we've got a great player.
I feel pretty good, feel really comfortable in here in this organization. One of the best opportunities that I have during my career.
The two products of the Dominican Republic support each other, from the highs of last year to the hopes of 2014.
I mean, he's excited, both of us were excited. We had a tremendous year. He has one of the best years in baseball, too. And he won the Gold Glove, and he went to the All-Star game. It's a tremendous year.
The second year is the tough, but he got the ability. He's a good hitting and a good athlete. I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be consistent.
Gomez and Segura play two very important positions on the diamond, center field and shortstop. But there is no position in baseball more crucial than catcher, the quarterback of baseball's defense. And Jonathan Lucroy is ready to take charge behind home plate once again. They call catcher's gear the tools of ignorance. But nothing could be further from the truth. Jonathan Lucroy knows his team's philosophy, he knows his pitchers, and he knows the game. Lucroy also knows his own strengths and his weaknesses.
I feel pretty good at the plate. I'm very confident in my bat, very confident in my receiving ability, blocking. My throwing last year was not good, very below average, so that's something I'm working on.
The Brewers trust Lucroy to handle a $113 million investment. Star quality starting pitchers, a key to winning games.
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, facing a guy like Garza, I mean, that guy, he comes after you, he attacks you. I hated facing him. That's going to be a big, big, big addition to our club. And, couple that with, Loesch and Yo, Vonnie, and, other guys we got, Marco. I really think we're going to be pretty good.
They tell me he's really good to work with, and, he's, communicating. That's kind of the secret to the whole thing, being around so many catchers and being in so many places. Communication's key.
Sitting alongside Lucroy for the 7th straight season, Martin Maldonado, 26 pounds lighter this spring thanks to a strict off-season workout.
Yeah, good for him, man. He came in shape. It's good. I like being pushed. It's fun.
Good friend, we talk over the winter. Try to do our best. And we've been together since 2008. I think that's something that helped me, helped him. We got a great relationship other than, our jobs.
That job is a labor of love with fruitful results. Oh! Lucroy's 82 runs batted in last year led the Brewers, and he's working to catch those numbers again this year. Last but certainly not least among the starting spots is third base, where Aramis Ramirez has been a force in baseball for more than a decade. But a sobering scare turned Ramirez's attention away from baseball just as spring training got underway. It's the toughest way to start spring training. A veteran of 15 big league seasons, watching, waiting.
I feel pretty good, just happy to be out here with my teammates.
But Ramirez couldn't join his teammates on the field for those first few workouts. Earlier this spring, Ramirez had surgery to remove a polyp.
All right, Rami, off to the side.
It wasn't cancerous, but the surgery has changed his perspective.
That's it. It's all I need. I just need help. If I stay healthy, everything else should be okay.
Injuries limited the slugging third baseman to just 92 games and 12 home runs last season. And it's tough to take it easy with a new season starting.
Coming into last season, he was tired of having slow starts. He said, what can I do different? We were going to play him more last year, and he started off really well, and then he gets hurt. I think the knees, we need to make sure just all of his physical parts of it, we need to watch.
There's no question if Ramirez is healthy, he's hitting. Aramis has more than 350 career home runs.
Goodbye, Aramis Ramirez.
Easily the highest total on the Brewers roster.
And Ramirez lines one down. That's base hit. And in to score, Segura. The Brewers win.
I think we have a good all-around lineup. We got some speed on Gomi, Siggy. They both steal 40-plus bases last year. Brownie can steal 30 bases. I think we had a good lineup and a real good starting pitching.
And if the man they call Rami is forced off the field again, the Brewers have backup plans, like Jeff Bianchi.
And just being ready, last year I played second, short, third, snuck into left field a little bit. So my job is to be ready, wherever they call me and whenever they call me.
Francisco's out there too. He can play some third base. Hopefully they don't play that much. Hopefully I play most of the time.
When the starters give way, the relievers save the day. The arms in the Brewers bullpen. Next on Brewers on Tap.
I was a Brewers fan growing up, so I watched Chipper Jones play a lot. And my first year up in the big league was cool because that was his final season, and they came to Milwaukee and the farewell tour or whatever.
It was Ricky Henderson. He's my idol growing up.
And he's gonna have it. He does.
The stands at the old neon green Mizuno gloves and everything. So it was all me, yeah.
I had two. It was Manny Ramirez and Pedro Martinez, both of them.
I really enjoyed watching Griffey play. Just the guys that did it right, just played like Jeter. I can't wait to see him in Milwaukee,
And welcome back to Maryvale Baseball Park. Very few things in baseball can match the tension of the last few innings of a close game. Every play, every pitch matters. And when the heat is turned up, the Brewers will turn to some cool characters in their bullpen. Any bullpen success starts with the stopper. Jim Henderson's another closer from Canada, and it's his first spring training as the Brewers' ninth inning guy.
I try to keep it simple up there. I don't get if you see me pitch, I don't get too emotional or take things too seriously. I just try to get the 3 outs, try not to beat myself. The exciting part for me is being there at the end of the game and securing the win for the team, because that's what it's all about, just getting the wins.
All right, we're good. Nice. Also back for 2014, the man they call K-Rod.
K-Rod gets the strikeout to open up the 6th inning.
Francisco Rodriguez had an interesting spring. He missed time after stepping on a cactus, but K-Rod still has a foothold as the setup man.
My first year when I called up, I worked him a little bit, but last year he really got more vocal with me and some of the other guys out there. So, great. And he's comfortable with Milwaukee. He loves being on this team, and we love having him.
The biggest buzz in this bullpen surrounds big left-hander Will Smith. The Brewers traded starting outfielder Nori Aoki to the Royals for Smith and his eye-popping pitches.
Oh gosh, if you don't watch his bullpen, it's incredible. It's fastballs down in the zone with life on them. Great breaking ball. He's got that bulldog kind of attitude.
Any opportunity you get to, be on the big league roster, it doesn't matter what you do, you're happy to do it. So, if they need left-handed pitching out of the bullpen, I'm happy to do it. Or, if they need a guy to fill in the rotation, I'll do that too.
Other bullpen lefties battling this spring included 7-year veteran Zach Duke, former starter Tom Gorzalani, and Taiwanese Rule 5 pick Wei Chung Wong. Where this bullpen stands out is in its cohesion. Several key members of last year's pen are back, including Brandon Kinsler.
Me and Henderson, we've been knowing each other for the last 5-6 years, and a lot of other guys we've come up with K-Rod coming back. He's got definitely a good veteran add to us, so I just think, we mesh really well.
The list of contestants could fill a few bullpens. Alfredo Figueroa, Mike Fiers, Donovan Hand, all looking for a big league role. Rob Wooten sums up their philosophy.
Things will take care of itself. I can't worry about the decisions they make. I come here and do the best I can. If I win a spot, great. If not, I know they'll need me at some point during the season. But we've made some good additions to our ball club, and I'm very excited about this year.
Coming up, Mr. Baseball weighs in.
I'm going to do some advanced scouting for the team. My first assignment from Mark is Germany.
Bob Uecker's timeless wit. Plus, he's stealing hearts and scoring hits with the fans. The story of Hank, later in the show.
No.
I got double play on it.
All-star defense out there.
1-0. Stay over. Yay! What? I got a double.
Tie ball game.
Yeah! I'm fast. He's out. Boom! Runner at second base.
Yeah, because you celebrate.
Get your ball! Get your ball!
Brewers on Tap, back in Phoenix and getting you ready for the 2014 season. All the voices and all the faces we've seen in Brewers camp pale in comparison to Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker. After nearly 6 decades in the game and entering season 44 behind the mic in Milwaukee, Uecker still has his passion for the game and his classic sense of humor.
This is what I did. When I hit home runs, I do like this.
He's an instant VIP wherever he goes, including spring training.
How are you?
Good. Nice to have you back.
It's good to be back.
From his seat in the front row at Maryvale Baseball Park, Uecker's wit is already in mid-season form.
Watching all these young pitchers get out there and heat up, and nobody's hitting or anything, but they got a guy standing in the batter's box, which was normally my job. You look at Jeff Bianchi, he's not a regular, he's not going to start, so throw him out there, and if he gets drilled, so what? That was normally my spot during spring training.
We'll be hearing less of Uecker's golden voice this season. He says he's taking a few extra off days, staying home on the Brewers' longest road trips.
I'm cutting back on the schedule, but when you've done this stuff, for me it's going to be 59 years now. I don't know what else I would do.
Yeah, I wish he would take it a little easier, but I don't know that he knows how to gear down like that. And I still can't imagine baseball without Bob Uecker. His voice represents summer in Wisconsin to me.
There's a time every day when you know you're supposed to be at the ballpark. From April through September, you actually become a part of people's lives every day at 6:30. When you go on the pregame show, you become a part of that family. You do.
Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker.
When asked how he'll spend his newfound spare time, Uecker became classic Uecker once again.
I'm going to do some advanced scouting for the team. My first assignment from Mark is Germany. I don't know who we have over there or who he wants to look at, but if that's where he wants me to go, I'm going to go.
And a final assessment from Mr. Baseball on what will make the Brewers winners this year.
I always like guys who can win fights, too. That's important. Throw hard, and if, there's a fight, you can win the fight.
Coming up, what do the 2014 Brewers have in common with the 1984 San Diego Padres? The answer next on Brewers on Tap.
I'm not used to it. You know, it's something that I feel very uncomfortable doing, but, you know, you have to do it.
We're messing with Loesch a little bit.
Huge effort. Keep coming.
He has some pretty good mechanics over there on that one picture, so we're getting on him about it a little bit.
You don't want me swinging either? So I got a sweet swing.
Oh, nice.
Just a little higher in the back. There you go.
We can bring it on. Real slow this time. That's the way.
Welcome back to Brewers on Tap. Brewers fans know their history. Just ask one about the 1982 World Series, and you'll see what I'm saying. But how much do you know about the current Brew Crew? We did some digging and found out 6 things you might not know about the Brewers. Number 6, the Brewers have a dubious all-time record holder. Mark Reynolds struck out 223 times one season, a record for hitters. 5, Hunter Morris had tickets to one of the greatest college football games ever, but he didn't go for family reasons.
No, returned by Chris Davis.
My wife and I, we had tickets to the Alabama-Auburn game. Her family was out of town, my dad was out of town, so it would have been my mom alone with our 3-year-old for 3 or 4 days. And we decided to be good parents and stay home.
No flags! Touchdown! Auburn!
Biggest play I've ever seen in college football, and just the thing, you know, could have been there.
4, in Lyle Overbay's 11 full seasons, he's played in 1 postseason series against the Brewers in the 2011 NL Division Series.
And on the inside corner, down goes Overbay.
That little taste right there, just, I mean, it makes all these off-season workouts, and me getting older makes it a lot easier.
And this on the off-speed, Gallardo picks up his first strikeout.
I want to get to that point again and just experience it, because that's what everybody works for.
3, Brandon Kinsler turned down the role of Tim Hudson in the movie Moneyball so he could impress some pro baseball scouts.
They called me to come down to LA to, you know, basically do like the final casting, see if be part of it. But that was the same weekend as the All-Star game. I would have made some decent money there, but I figure I had one shot.
2, Brewers manager Ron Renicky played in a World Series 30 years ago. He played in 2 games of the 1984 World Series for the Padres.
Ron Renicky, the brother of Baltimore's Gary Renicky, gets a chance to get in the World Series.
Wow, those uniforms. And number 1, Scooter Gennett's nickname comes from a Muppet Baby.
My favorite character was Scooter, and you know, one day I was in the car with my mom, and I would always click off my seatbelt. She'd put it on, I'd click it off. I wanted attention, I think. She got tired of it and took me to the police station, and the police officer asked me what my name was, and I said Scooter Gennett, because I was scared. I thought if I told him my real name, I'd get arrested and, you know, go to jail at 4 or 5. It just kind of stuck all the way to this day.
We know baseball is the great national pastime, steeped in history and often resistant to change. But social media like Twitter have ushered in a new era where fans can be closer than ever to their heroes, for better and sometimes for worse. Carlos Gomez is using Twitter for more than just interacting with his fans. Gomez also uses the social media app to improve his English.
It's fun and exciting, like when you can talk personally, like your fans and the people know about you and the people follow you. You know, it's really good.
You can learn about and connect with many Brewers players, 140 characters at a time. 16 members of the 40-man roster have Twitter accounts.
You know, you get lots of questions, and I answer some. I try to keep it actually my Twitter more or less baseball, more just kind of personal. It's great, so it's good for the fans to get to know the person more than anything.
But how much information is too much? Ron Renicky believes Twitter can sometimes be a disadvantage for his team.
I don't like Twitter. No, I don't get it. What I don't like is when something's going on here and all of a sudden somebody tweets it, or say they've got an injury, and I would just assume that other team didn't know about it. But I get it. I get why they want a following. I get why why they want their name out there. I understand that part. My job is what's best for the team to win ball games. And a lot of times that's not.
Social media also opens players up to an entirely new type of abuse from fans. One bad play, one loss can lead to a long line of angry tweets.
If I do fail out in the field and somebody does say something nasty on it, I just block them. I keep it positive. Some players kind of fire back at fans, and I just don't think that's a great idea. Keep it positive. You're there.
And if you decide to follow the Brewers, watch out for parody accounts. Look for the blue check mark on a profile. That means the account is verified. And no, Ryan Braun does not have an official Twitter account. Coming up, the MVP, most valuable pup of spring training.
We have you on the board there. I'm not sure where you're going to play yet. We have you as a rover.
The story of Hank, next.
When I was scoring the winning run and in the playoffs when we play against Arizona.
Drive of the Brewers advance to the National League Championship Series.
It was 2011 when we clinched the division and I was on the field, and it was just, it was such a euphoric feeling.
Making the playoffs in 2011, obviously, it's something that I'll never forget. They have been my favorite times with the Brewers, and hopefully we get back there. Especially, hopefully this year it happens.
Welcome back to Brewers on Tap. Spring training is a time for new faces and emerging stars. But one surprise acquisition stole the spring training show at Maryvale in 2014, and his tale is sure to make you happy.
This is Hank. Hank is a stray who wandered into camp on Monday. This guy ran right to our folks here.
Had a lot of energy this morning.
And he has become the official, I think, camp mascot of 2014.
Hank the stray dog has a nose for baseball and a name for it, too. He's named for former Brewer and home run king, Hank Aaron.
Are you a good boy? Oh, yes.
We're taking good care of him. He's overnighting with some of the staff down here and then just hanging out with us on the fields during the day.
And from the day Coach Ed Cedar found this little guy,
come on, Hank,
he's become the most scouted Brewer in all of spring training.
1, 2, 3.
He's already stolen everybody's hearts down here.
Well, I saw Hank today. He came in and actually ate his breakfast in here this morning. So, that's a cool little story.
He's got good range.
We'll see.
Well, until I looked at my leg earlier this morning, I hadn't noticed him, but when I looked at my pant leg and saw what he did, I became a fan too, I guess, of sorts. I wasn't real pleased. These are rented jeans, but...
Hank spent February and March living a dog's life. From appearances on local TV to an article in People magazine. With that kind of stardom, the battle for Hank's time was inevitable.
The players want him on the roster and to travel with the team. Melvin's trying to get him into a baseball meeting later today. And then we've got, a half a dozen people trying to adopt him around the team.
Hank got more comfortable, started hot dogging alongside the racing sausages.
Is he coming?
Yeah, he is.
And before the end of spring training, Hank had found a permanent home right here in Milwaukee.
Hey, Hank, you were one of the few walk-on we've had here in camp. And Gord and Zach had given me reports on you. We have you on the board there. I'm not sure where you're going to play yet. We have you as a rover. Somewhere probably playing around the infield, the outfield. But you have a big responsibility to keep the fans happy. You're going to make the club. And Gord, could you present Hank with his jersey? And he officially made the team today.
If he can sink his teeth into a major league franchise, imagine what's next.
He's a survivor and a really sweet little personality. He's just a terrific little dog.
And with that, we're all tapped out in our hour-long special previewing the Brewers' 2014 season. For videographer Dan Blanchard, for Earl Arms and the staff in Milwaukee, I'm Kevin Holden at Maryvale Baseball Park in Phoenix. Opening day at Miller Park is Monday. And remember, you can watch selected Sunday home games on our sister station, Telemundo, Wisconsin. We'll see you at Miller Park.